So one of my nice little sewing ladies, she loves using, I don't know if they're quite antique, but they are old scissors, and she buys them online. So she bought all these scissors on some auction site, and I'm going to sharpen them. And I thought I'd make a longer video this time instead of a short. And we'll sharpen each one of these and hopefully get them to cut really well. First, we're going to test each one of them and see how they cut. And it'll be a before and after, so this may be a long video. Thanks for watching, though. So the first thing we're going to test and sharpen are the pinking shears. So these are really old Weiss pinking shears. Let's see how they cut. You know what? That does not cut very bad. I may tell her to leave those as is. Let's try these other ones. Okay, those don't cut at all. So we've got to sharpen these. So let's go from that. All right, the first thing we're going to do on the pinking shears is we're going to black out the edge. And if you've never seen pinking shears sharpened before, I've got a couple other videos on my YouTube channel. So we've blacked it out. Can you see that? We'll black out this one. Like that. I need some music on in my shop. So there we go. All right, we're going to stop the camera and turn some music on. All right, so now we have to get it mounted in here and do a test, scratch test. So I like to be consistent in the blade, so I'm going to count how many teeth. I'm on the 7th valley. These are usually negative, so we're going to go all the way to 0. Actually, we're negative about 5 degrees. This is where we're going to start on our scratch test. Too far. You see that? All the way across the teeth, so that's where we want to be. I'm going to test the back teeth just to be sure I'm on the right area here, and I need to resurface my wheel before I get started here. I feel pretty confident about that. So let's resurface the wheel. All right, we're going for it. I'm going to do a pass, very light pass. All the way across the teeth. Can you see that? That looks good. I'm going to do one more light pass. Beautiful. I'm not doing any more than that. So let's be real careful here. Make sure how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on the 7th valley. All right, let's do our second blade here. Well, I hope this works. That looks real good. One more light pass. All the teeth look good. Can you see that? That looks real good. Looks real good. All right. Now what I like to do before I do anything is get my brush. I'm going to stop it because my brush is not laying here on the bench. All right, I got my little brass brush out. I'm just going to do a gentle brush across the teeth. Spread the blades apart. Open. Spread them apart. Open. All right. Let's go try them now. Here's the cloth that didn't work first time. Oh, it's still not. That didn't work. Okay, I did a couple other passes on it, and they're cutting like butter. How about that? Let's test these scissors here. Let's see if they cut. And look, they don't cut anything. Oh no, that's terrible. Let's see if we can fix them. Okay, I cleaned them up a little bit with the Dremel, and you can see the inside edge. Well, you probably can't on the video, but the inside edge is just terrible here. These are just worn out. Who knows how old these are? And they do have a serrated edge. I'm going to take the serration off of them. I'm going to make them cut like fantastic. And the serration is not needed on these. You could put the serration on it. I do have a serration wheel, but I'm not going to. I talked to the client, and she's more than happy. She just wants them to cut cloth. She doesn't care if they're serrated or not. So anyway, we've blacked it out. Let's do this side first, the non-serrated side first. Do our scratch test. And we're not there yet. I'm going to need to move this down a little bit. Sometimes this twice as sharp clamp gets in the way on scissors, depending on the angle of the scissors. So I'm going to move it down. Anytime you guys have questions about doing this, I know most of it's sharpeners that are watching my video, and you guys know what you're doing. But maybe I'll find somebody who doesn't out there that know what they're doing and just wants to learn a little bit, and I'm more than happy to help. Okay, so there's the scratch. I've got the angle right on the scissors. People will ask me, well, what angle do you use? It doesn't matter what angle you use. As long as, if they haven't been sharpened before, just mimic the factory angle. And these have never been sharpened, I can tell. They're just old and worn out. So there's pass number one. Let's take a look. You can't see it, but there's a flat spot right there. So that's going to catch. Light is your friend, and unfortunately I don't have a whole lot of light here today. I'll move my lamp over a little bit. I can see it. One more pass. I can see the edge. All right. That's 3 passes. That looks really good. Now I'm going to go to the buffing wheel or the honing wheel and see how it looks after that. All right, so we got one side done. I like the way it looks. I've got a burr all the way up the blade. That's a good thing. Haven't removed the burr yet. We're going to do the other side first. And I'll show you how I removed the burr. I said this is going to be a long video, and I'm not going to put any, I don't think I'll put any music to it. I think I'll just let it run. I won't get as many people to watch it, but that's okay. I like that. I'm going to take, like I said, I'm going to take the serration off of this. That's one pass. That's 2. That's 3. Let's take a look now. I got a burr all the way up and down the blade. The serration is gone. Well, I'm going to hone it first and see. It looks like there's a little ding right there in the blade. We may have to sharpen that again. Oh, that was not good. See how that looks. That looks real good. I am going to go with that. So what I do is get out my little pink stone, and I want to run that burr over. And you'll feel that burr is not there anymore. It is still there. It's just been flipped up. And I take a little block of wood and just gently rub it over that wood on the edge piece to remove the burr. I think I learned that from the Tormek video. So that feels pretty good. Let's see if it cuts now. Let's see if this, don't make a liar out of me. Oh, it did. Look at that. All right, still not cutting. So we're going to do a little work here. I think it may need to be tightened up a little bit. I think it may be loose. So I'm going to try to tighten them first. Okay, I snugged them up a little bit. And let's see if they're going to cut now. They cut. Got to get the right angle. I think I need a little more tension on that. All right, we did a little bit more work with them. How's that? Now they cut. Little tiny scissors. Let's see if they cut. What brand are these? Can't tell. Made in Italy. Will not cut. Will not cut. All right, let's see what, those are very loose. That's a problem right there. Okay, these were very loose and they still won't cut. But I did tighten them up a little bit, and I put a little super glue on the end of them. If I take that screw out, I'm going to be in big trouble. So I can't take the screw out. But we're going to see if we can sharpen them and see if they'll stay a little tight. That's a problem right there. That screw is not budging. Well, it does move. It's just not staying in place. So anyway, so let's see if we can get them to cut. All right. I like that. Looks real good. All right. About the same angle. Ooh, that didn't feel good at all. Yeah, looks all right. Thought I dug into that blade. That feels pretty good right there. Looks good too. All right. Look at that. How about that? Cuts fantastic. There's another one down. All right, here's the little tiny pair. And they will not cut anything. So we're going to sharpen them and see if we can make them better. So the first thing I did off camera was I cleaned these up a little bit with the Dremel tool, just to get all the crud off of them. Little surface rust, looked like there was some glue on it. So here we go. These are a pain to get into the clamp of the Twice as Sharp, but we're going to try. I have some little pieces of copper that sometimes I use to clamp very small scissors in here, and I may have to do that again this time because it is not grabbing a hold of it, and that is one of the drawbacks behind the Twice as Sharp clamp. Little small scissors are difficult to hold. Let's see what that looks like. Don't like the way that looks. So I'm going to move it right there. Sometimes it's hard for an old man like me to see too. So you got to be careful with these. Whoa, it moved in there. It moved. So I'm going to try to hold it. Light touch because this gets really hot really fast. I don't like the way it looks right here, and I don't like the way it looks at the tip. So I'm going to try one more pass. And it only takes a couple passes with these little scissors and very little pressure. That looks good. The pattern on it looks good. I do need to move it though. It's barely holding in the clamp. All right. And I'm betting that the angle is the same on the other side. And these look like they've been sharpened before because it's got a wicked looking dip in the blade. Somebody tried to sharpen these one time before. I hope I can get them to cut. All right, let's try them. And it is the same angle. Or it was whoever sharpened it. I'm not going to change it yet. Oh, see it came loose? All right, let's get that back in there. These little tiny scissors are the hardest to sharpen with the Twice as Sharp. I probably could have done them with the flat hone easier. Freehand on the flat hone probably would have worked great, but we're already here, so we're going to keep going. Oh, that looked good. Just a little bit on the tip, and I would imagine they're going to use these for thread nippers or embroidery scissors, so I need that tip crisp. There it is, all the way across. Hope this works. All right, here we go. Same process from here on out. Pink stone, and instead of the wood, I'm going to use a little piece of leather. Hang on. Little piece of leather. Get that burr off, and you can feel it. Ooh, didn't like that, but let's see. Ooh, see that again? Look at that. Look at that. So we saved another little pair of scissors. Let's go to the next one. Here's another little pair from that same set, and they will not cut. The first problem I see here is they don't close all the way. So we got to figure out how to fix that. And second is they are very loose. So I'm going to play with them off camera before I sharpen them, and I'll let you know how it turns out. So I got them to close. I'm lucky I didn't break them. I did put them in the vise, and I just moved these handles slightly. So now we got to sharpen them because they still don't cut. Let's sharpen them and see if we can get them to work. They're not going to be tight. I cannot get that screw to tighten up. It's probably been loose for 50 years. So, see what we can do. Same kind of thing. You know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use the flat hone for this. So let's move the camera. Here's the flat hone, and I did put black on the edge. Let's go start with a 600 grit and see if we can get a nice bevel on that. I'm just going to go like that. Ooh, look at that. Got a burr on it right away. Got a burr on that one too. All right, let me find my loan first. Looks pretty good. Let me find some cloth now. So they will not cut. And the reason why they won't cut is the tension. And I don't know how I'm going to get that tension any tighter on that screw. I'm going to play with it. So I played with them a little bit, and I also changed the angle on them, and they are cutting. Whoop! Now, how about that? So what didn't cut at all is cutting pretty good now. So we fixed these. So here's the little thread nips. They're embroidery scissors. I don't know what they're called, but they're cutting now. Okay, the last large pair of shears. This was in the Weiss set. Let's see if they cut. Find some cloth here. See if we can make these better. They may cut. Who knows? I haven't tested them yet. So here we go. No! They cut right there, but they don't cut back here. So let's see if we can fix them. So they look like they've been sharpened before and sharpened poorly. So let's do it black out there. And right there. And let's see what we can do. I'm going to move that camera just a little bit here. See if we can get closer. It looks like somebody sharpened these. It's got two different angles on it. And the inside angle is horrible. In fact, it's negative. I'm going to try to get it here. Man, I don't know. This is terrible. So that's about 20 degrees right there. Let's do a pass. The inside angle is negative. I'm going to go 20 degrees on it and see if I can get a damn bevel on it. Still not there yet. I've got a bevel, a burr there, but I don't have it all the way down the blade. Somebody really jacked this thing up. They just flat topped it. I think it was actually negative. Somebody doesn't understand bevels and edge angle. I'm hoping this works. If not, we may be starting completely over. And I don't know what brand these are. These do not say Weiss on them. They're some kind of oddball brand. It doesn't even say, it does say forged on them. It doesn't say where they're made. Same thing, this thing has been cut horribly. There's two different edge angles on it. I need to put an edge on it, so I am going to crank it down to about 30 degrees. And it may not work. This is where I'm literally putting a new edge on this thing. That's hot. Let's cool it off a little bit. Got no bevel. A burr, sorry. Got a little burr up there. Somebody really jacked these scissors up. All right, I got a burr now. One more pass. All right, I got a burr all the way across. If this works, I'll really be surprised. I don't know if I can fix these or not. All right, where is my pink stone? Be right back. I had to go find my pink stone over by the flat hone and my piece of leather. Need a bigger piece of cloth. Hang on one second here. All right. How's that? Ha! It worked. I'm surprised. So, some new life into these really old sewing scissors. Okay, the last pair in this case, these are almost like some kind of scissors from grade school, and they got glue all over them. I'm going to clean them up first with the Dremel tool and some Goo Gone, and then we'll test them. I got them cleaned up. Now let's test them, see if they'll cut. they cut. They just got a really rough edge on them, so that should be pretty easy to fix. I'm going to use a little bit more of the Dremel tool right in there. All right, we cleaned them up with the Dremel tool. We're going to try to put a nicer edge on it. And these are pretty high edge angle. Last pair of this batch from the nice lady. These are more like craft scissors than sewing scissors here. See how that looks. So that's 10 degrees. That feels pretty good right there. No, it's not. That's about 5. Let's go 0. Those are 0. So those are 0 degrees on that side. I bet they're 0 on both sides. Like you'd use in grade school. But I'm going to put a nice, pretty edge on it. That looks real good all the way across. My assumption is that's going to be 0 on the other side also. But we'll do a scratch test to find out. Let me reposition that. It's 0. One more pass. Didn't get right in there. See that? I'm missing that last part towards the heel. And everything moved. What the hell? Got it. All right, we're about done here. Yeah, these are craft scissors. Cutting 100% better now. There they are. Last pair of the set. By the way, this whole time I was using power from my Blue Eddy EB3A to sharpen all of these scissors. And I think it was at 99% power before I started. Probably took me about an hour to do all these, maybe 40 minutes or so. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. But it didn't use much power at all to run. So you could do this at any place that didn't have power.